If you don't have peach knee high where you live, I pity you. I pity your poor soul. Right now is going to be my review of Tell the Wolves I'm Home by. I've never been able to see her name. Carol Rivka Brunt. And this review is going to have spoilers, and I'm sorry. Like I've said before, I don't understand how somebody can review a book without spoilers. Like, do you not, like, what do you talk about? So yeah, there are going to be spoilers in this video, and I feel the need to say that even though my last warning was ignored by, I'm not going to say names, Evil Outlaw, on my Love is the Higher Law review, I warned before I started talking in the description and in the title that some of my religiouses were going to come out. Just a couple. It's going to be a little bit less in this particular book because in Love is the Higher Law, that was literally the plot. I felt like it was really overbearing. Part of my religiouses that I didn't agree with, and I got flack for it. And you know, I don't care. I really don't care. But I just really need to say that I'm a Christian and I don't support homosexuality. So if I'm going to offend you, I'm sorry, but you can go. Alrighty. So this is a book that I've never seen on BookTube, but I've seen around a couple times at Barnes & Noble. And I always saw the cover and I thought it was really nice. And it's one of those books that's not young adult, but it's also not really adult either. It's just kind of like in between for anybody. And this book is about a young girl named June Elvis. She's 14 years old, and she is ridiculously close to her Uncle Finn. And it's not like, just like, you know, you love your uncle. She's like, they're best friends, and they're like ridiculously close best friends. Like, they're like this. And, you know, a lot of people accuse her of like having incestuous feelings for him and all that, you know. And he's a painter. He's, you know, fun and creative and artsy, and then he passes away from AIDS. And I think it's a really interesting plot discussion because, you know, in young adult fiction, we have our cancer books, we have our occasional, you know, mental disorder books, but I've never read a book about AIDS before, and I don't think there's all that many out there, so it was really interesting to read this. And, a couple things that I want to talk about are some of the relationships during this novel. Like I said, I don't agree with homosexuality as a Christian. If you ask why in the comments, I can tell you some Bible verses that I don't remember specifically off the top of my head, but I have them somewhere in there. Somewhere in my mind. But, like I said, I don't agree with that, but I did like the relationship. We were never able to see Finn and Toby together. We were never able to see him because, you know, Finn passed away and then Toby, you know, came, so we never actually had firsthand experience with both of them. But with the way that Finn talked about him, I really liked their relationship as a whole. Not as a romantic relationship, but as just a chemistry relationship, in the same way that I absolutely loved Toby and our main character June. I loved their relationship so much. And at one point during the novel, around the end, I started thinking, I'm like, is June closer to Toby than she was to Finn? Because, you know, by the end, she and Toby are just as close as Finn and her were. Now, I understand that she has a lot more to do with Finn, as, you know, she's related to him, and she's been with him longer, she's known him longer, so I can understand how that's different. But she seemed to really be close to Toby by the end of the story. And I assume the development of the story is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand how this is a debut novel. This is the best debut novel I've ever read. Like, this plot development, it's paced so perfectly. Everything about it, I love this book. I don't know if I mentioned, I actually know I didn't mention it. 5 stars. Yes, it's amazing. I loved it so much. But like I was saying, I really loved how Toby and June, I like how Toby gave June space while June tried to warm up to him. Because, you know, of course, everybody thinks that it was Toby that gave Finn AIDS. So she's like, I'm not talking to you. You gave my best friend AIDS, you know, like, don't talk to me. And I'm glad that he wasn't like, well, that's mean. I'm glad that he was like, I understand. I probably wouldn't like me either. Kind of like, he gave her space. He was able to, you know, give her space. I don't really know how anybody else to word it. And I like how June was acceptable. What am I trying to say? I like how she accepted the fact that after a while she realized that he wasn't as bad as she thought she was. as she thought he was. Even if he had been the one that gave Finn AIDS. And, you know, she was thinking that. She was like, even if this is true, because, you know, that's what she thought until very close to the end of the novel. That's what she thought. Bless you, Mama. That's what she thought. So I just thought that I also liked her being able to warm up to him even after that's what she thought, because Toby is such a good character, and he had so many redeeming qualities that whatever he did bad, his good qualities kind of covered that up. One of my favorite quotes from Pirates of the Caribbean is that, you know, Captain Jack Sparrow, he's like, the dude is like, a lifetime of good is not, wait, what am I trying to say? I cannot remember what he says in that movie. Now I feel all bad. Oh, okay. He says, a lifetime of bad is not it is not redeemable just by one good action. And then he says, but it is enough to condemn him. So that's kind of like this, is that pretending that Toby, yes, let's just pretend that Toby did give Finn AIDS. She is still able to, you know, be with him. And I was a little bit creeped out, unexpected, but also still expected whenever, what's her face? June did admit to having feelings for Finn. I mean, I saw it coming, but at the same time, I'm like, she denies it an awful lot. Maybe she's just ridiculously close to her uncle. I mean, that can be a thing. I love my uncle. My uncle is he is absolutely one of my best friends. But, you know, she admitted, and I love how she felt close enough to Toby to admit it to him, to admit it to her uncle's boyfriend that she was in love with her uncle. Not only is that incestuous and odd and very rare, but it's also, she's telling his boyfriend that, which is just kind of funny to me. But I was glad that their relationship was so developed they were able to. And I hate Greta. Oh my gosh, I still do. I still hate Greta. I hated her from the second we met her. She's just her bratty sister who's always trying to get her into trouble. She's always trying to make her worry. She's just, I hated her so much. And, you know, at the end, they come back together as best friends and sisters again, and I'm like, I don't care. I still hate your guts. I could not stand it. Her parents were okay. You know, they weren't there very often. I thought her mom was not the best most of the time, but her dad was sweet in the fact that he tried to be a good dad. And I really liked how each member of the family added their little special touch to the painting, with the exception of the father, if I'm correct. I really liked how that happened, and then, you know, how at the end he was like, what the crap, the dude from Whitney, he was like, you can't do this, and they're just like, LOL. But this was a fantastic story. It took a turn that I didn't expect it to take, and I was really glad that Carol Rivka Brunt, I can never remember that. It's a long, for some reason, I don't know why I can't remember it, but it's the fact that she didn't try to put an actual romance in here, like with Ben Delahunt. Dude, he got rejected so badly. Oh, June, how I love you. But I love how she kind of like tried to bring on romance between Ben and June, and, you know, she kind of did for a period of time. But then the novel took the tone and took the feel and theme that true love is family. True love is your family, and it always will be. That's the kind of love that you can't break up with. You can't break up with your sister because, I mean, you're family. So I liked how she did that, how she like put romance in there, but then way backed off so that the spotlight, so that the focal point could be on the family and the themes that really mattered. A+ novel. Good job, Carol. Good job. Let's see when this was published. I think it was 2012. If she has written any more novels, I am absolutely ready. And some of the Q&A, I think she said that she was writing one, but I think that I actually don't know. I forgot. I'm probably telling you wrong. But I am very much looking forward to reading more of her work, because this was absolutely a fantastic novel. If you haven't read it, well, you're still here and you have been spoiled. You really ought to. Oh, and one more thing. Was so sad. Oh my goodness. For some reason, it didn't click in my mind that Toby was going to die, because I'm like, he has AIDS too, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. He has AIDS too. I'm like, he's going to die. I was like, I was not ready for it. I didn't know if maybe it was going to be like implied and then have it take place after the novel or we don't read it. I didn't know. Fantastic debut novel because I didn't expect like way over half the things that were coming. This is just such an amazing plot and it's so beautiful, and I could go on and on and on and on and on about this book, but I'm going to stop now. So that was my review of this book. Tell me down below what you thought of this. I would love to hear your opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.